If they put a couple spells together, we're going to be able to make things happen. So now as we get into game 2, what are we focusing in the draft? Of course, Peru Reject, they did choose first pick. That does mean 4 bans for Amaru. What are you focusing on Amaru in this first phase?
I think their strategy was sound. The biggest problem in draft, I would say, was giving away that co-op that early. I think that's a little bit of a blunder they ended up going for. So potentially make sure you don't, the way you draft, you don't open up heroes that are, you know, specialty for Dark Mago. Because a lot of Dark Mago teams, he loves to last pick his hero, and Parker is the same. So if you open up an opportunity where Dark Mago can get one of his best heroes without really being in trouble, and what happened in game 1, you want to avoid that. So just got to be a little bit tighter in your strategy. But overall, I think the draft was really good for Amaru. In fact, we said that you know, they had a better draft, just not the best players, and they showed it. You know, that was a 50-minute game into Peru Rejects. Not a lot of teams in the past couple of weeks were able to stand 30 minutes. So I think that goes a long way to show that their draft was fine.
All right, this is interesting. I'm a little confused because in the lobby we were talking about Peru Reject asking for first pick.
True.
And they have last pick.
Last pick. Yeah.
So they're getting the 4 bans. If something was messed up, maybe they changed their mind. I don't know. What I do know is that Amaru Gaming, 3 bans instead of 4, so that messes things up a little bit. They're going to get first pick. Tree is still in the pool. That's
yeah, they went Batrider, right? They went Batrider. This time they banned Ember, though, which I don't think was their ban in first phase.
It was second phase banned by, I want to say, Peru Rejects last game.
So, do you Batrider again?
Yep. It was impact. I like the bat. It had impact every stage of the game. A couple lasso or Ag's lasso targets towards the end almost turned things around. It's solid, and it does make it hard for the tree. Yeah, we did see Disruptor last game. Oh. Nope. Not giving him the ban option. I respect that.
Yeah, but this time around, they're not going to pick Razor, right? So now that is the price you have to pay. You're going to want to see Amaru kind of abuse this a little bit, get a great matchup. You don't want to force it too much because I'm sure Peru would be able to like flex this. I don't know, even give Mandy like support co-op.
Parker plays
because yeah, Parker also plays it. So you can jump the gun, but you want to punish this at some point in the draft. For now, I don't even think the Disruptor was that much of a counter to Batrider. I feel like Michael had a good time, so I don't think I would even touch the supports that Peru played game 1.
Yeah, I'm with that. And it's worth pointing out, you talk about we're guaranteed not picking Razor. They did pick Razor into Quap. This was not a game where like, oh, okay, Razor was like first 2, and then Quap's a follow-up. They said, yeah, we're going to opt into a bad matchup. It's fine. We think Razor is a good enough hero. And he did have impact. But I just, when we're talking about Wonder Kid, when we're talking about James, I want to see him on the Ember Spirits. Spanned out. I want to see him on his Pucks. I want to see him on his Void Spirits. These heroes that go in and get so much vision and make so much space for his team. That's where he's good. Like, that is where I have seen him dominate games. He just, he's a vessel builder. He lets the team seize the fight. He lets his carry pick his target. And we didn't realize, Razor's not a hero that does that.
Yeah. They do approach through Frank here banning the Beastmaster, which I like. I think Frank had a lot of impact. There are like some fights where he was dishing so much damage, being so tanky. I think Beastmaster definitely one of his specialty heroes. What else? So they played. It was Shaman, Disruptor, Beastmaster, Wop, and what was the carry?
It was a carry.
Okay, yeah, I mean, definitely don't want to mess with this. Van Tusk is actually the highest win rate hero for this tournament. So I guess it does make sense to take it out. As Disruptor is going to be picked.
Yeah, it's also a hero that Mandy's pretty good at. Of the heroes that Mandy has played in this tournament, probably Tusk and Shadow Demon he's looked the best on. Oh, and this is not, we talk about Wonder Kid. He is an Invoker player. He's a very good Invoker player. But when I was talking about game number 1, about how he likes to make tempo, but he doesn't like to farm. I've seen him go Invoker builds where he's gone the Wex Invoker and then doesn't get an Axe because he's focusing more on playmaking. And that can be interesting. That can be a problem. But I already look at this. We got Bat Rider, we got Shadow Shaman, two very, very strong Sunstrike setups.
Yeah, I do like that they're kind of forcing Mandy into a different hero by picking the Shaman, and they're also synergizing. They already have a lot of lockdown for Sunstrikes if that's the approach they're gonna go with this Invoker. Now for Peru, is this enough to flex the co-op? I think Dark Mago's still gonna play it. He's the type of guy that, you know, it has to be an obnoxiously hard matchup for him to ask for a flex. So I'm gonna go Mars on Frank.
Okay. That does remove a decent amount of range. Like, you're not going to pick Clips into Mars, probably. Does constrain the pool in some way. I'm actually surprised we didn't see Shadow Demon here. I mean, it's 2 picks back to back. I think Mandy's pretty good on Shadow Demon. I've seen some miss spell casting, but it's really nice into Bat Rider Shaman. Like, it is 2 very good saves. You got to be careful about the Underlord pick coming the last of the phase, but it is 2. Getting that disruption save into Shaman Bat Rider is really valuable. And I think it's one of the heroes that Mandy's pretty good at. The thing I'm worried about, Bowie, is that you have a Shadow Demon Disruptor support duo. And what exactly do they do?
Yeah, no damage. So that Snapfire definitely will change that. Gives you a lot of stuff to throw into the arena. Combos with your Static Storm. I really like this draft. And Mars Snapfire is a very good lane. If they're gonna lane, right? Because in game 1 they lane him in as a, you know, in the safe lane. I think this is a game where we're probably gonna see Mars and Snapfire together.
Yeah, I think so. It's not only is it a good lane, which is kind of the important thing. They're gonna go okay. They're gonna go Kez again. They like the matchups. Silencing the Queen of Pain, very nice. You have ways to chase down. Bulwark is annoying, but you're kind of fine into this lane. I think Mars Snap versus what is this gonna be? Kez. Probably Kez Bat. It's probably fine. But I don't know. I think you're opening yourself up to this last pick Parker hero, and it's a little scary. And also the problem, I think this is still a good Underlord game. And I got to assume Underlord's going to get banned out by Peru rejects in these last 2.
Yeah, I hope they do that. It's another source of control for this Evoker. EMPs with Pyromalysis. It's just very annoying. I think you actually ban the Sven here. Not gonna lie. Even with the Razor, they were still struggling to drain the damage with the Sven, and you could see like how that matchup's hard. I think actually Ben Ursa Sven. These are probably the 2 hardest heroes you have to count for.
I like from Per Reject said, I like the concept of Medusa. It works so well with Mars, but you are into Invoker Kess, so that's not really an option. You could go like a Gyrocopter. Similar idea. Fine. Yeah. It's a really good lockdown for the Kess. I think that's what you're looking at. But you already have a Disruptor. You know, you already have a Queen of Pain. It's not necessarily lockdown, but jump. You have this Mars. Faceless Void would be good here, but I don't know that it is.
Yeah, Time Dilation, I guess, is the problem, right? Time Dilation destroys Invoker and Kess. Even Bat Rider 4 actives. They actually all have more than 4 actives each hero. Now, do you take Sven or Ursa?
I think Sven is actually, well, you have Invoker, so you don't have the benefit of the Sven armor aura for most of the game. You can get a shard eventually and it gets dispelled, or it gets undispellable, but up until that point, Tornado is a problem, so you don't have Sven amping up or keeping his team alive in the same way.
I think you take this Sven. Because TA.
Parker is a great TA. It is very much a Parker hero. But I don't think TA is incredible in the Kez. You have the damage debuff from your passive. You have silences. You have stuns. Lots of control. You can parry the Sideblade hits. I think of the 2. I think that Sven is much scarier.
Huh. So, I mean, you're not picking Underlord with Sven open, I think, with Ursa open, which leads me to believe they want to go a different route. They also didn't ban the Underlord in Peru. This is sort of okay, just pick it again.
Okay. I mean, I think Underlord is good. I don't hate it.
I think you Ursa here, and you have a really good lane. Like, glimpse into Ursa gets an Underlord. It's pretty annoying.
Underlord can win these lanes, though. All right, it's going to be Underlord, and I'm actually not sure if it's Shadow Shaman 5 or Bat Rider 5. We're going to have to see, but regardless, decent lockdown, decent control for the Ursa. You get enough damage, and they're going to go... Does this... Okay, so this is carry... No, it's offlane Bristleback, carry Quap. This is a Parker special.
That's why. Huh.
Okay, yeah, Dark Mago, he's a big Mars player. He plays this quite a bit. Is this... How does this lane go versus... I feel like you just kind of... You harass the Underlord down. He has a very sad time.
Yeah, you do. You do. And there's Glimpse again. So it's kind of similar to Ursa in the sense that they're just wearing the Underlord down. At the same time, Underlord can just shove the wave. Like, this is the type of lane where you're just going to shove the wave, stack for the Underlord. You kind of want to avoid Parker as much as possible. It's kind of a weird draft from Peru again. Because yes, your lane's going to be fine against the Underlord. But Kaz is still a good matchup into the Quap. In this game, I feel like much easier to focus the Quap than it was to focus the Quap in game 1, because you had Sven as a threat, you had Roar as a problem you have to deal with. This time, you want to be jumping this Quap every single fight. Like, this Bristle eventually becomes a problem, but you can get a break through the Shaman, right? You have the 15 talent. This is a riskier draft from Peru, so I still feel like, despite the whole flexing thing, I think Amaru's still fine with this.
Yeah, I think you are. You also have percentage damage with Firestorm, which is just really good in Bristleback. All stages of the game. You have multiple pits. Bristleback really hates the pits. He's a hero that wants to be fairly mobile, run through fights, get his back turned, get on top of the back line. The one thing that I'm not going to say I'm surprised, because it's a really good Sunstrike game. But I see the amount of just really good EMP targets and the amount of really good dispels available for this Invoker. And I'm almost surprised, as a good old Sunstrike to scout the items, I'm almost surprised that this is not a Wex Invoker. Just again, I think being able to go get that control, EMPing everything, it does EMP a Bristleback, and he just doesn't do anything in fights.
And by the way, Bristle is one of those heroes that got extremely nerfed, in my opinion. And in competitive the last 2 weeks, out of the most picked heroes, he is one of the lowest win rates. He has 29% win rate over 31 games in competitive. This is like, considering the group of heroes that picked as much as him, very, very, very low win rate.
He's nice in that you can take over some lanes. You can Sunstrike looking for the players, not going to find them. You can take over some lanes. You can farm really nicely. If the lane is awful, you can farm stacks relatively well. But because of that, and because pros will like him so much, you're right, he has been nerfed significantly. Yes, Nasal Goo is better, but it's just he's not in a great spot right now.
Carry Bristle is good with Seeing Red. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of... Because, the way you would play offlane Bristle is the other facet, right? And Seeing Red on offlane, they're very greedy on Frank. We'll see if it's going to pay off. For now.
Well, Wits, there we go. Grappling Claw over the wall, not going to get taken down. Does take a decent amount of damage, and they're trying to zone him out. That's actually something we do have to talk about. They're not taking Nasal Goo at 1, but Little Shredder plus Nasal Goo is kind of crazy minus armor for the lane in a lane matchup where otherwise Kez has 6 armor at base. He buys a lot of Agi items. He's going to get that much more.
Well, top
lane.
Little bit.
Yeah, top.
Trying for a first blood. They force Blink out of Parker, but they don't get the kill.
That is really nice, though, to force a Quap who doesn't get a lot of... You're a safe lane Quap. You don't develop your levels nearly in the same level way as mid. So forcing Blink level 1 into this Underlord that was otherwise going to get a little bit bullied actually matters quite a bit for this lane.
And it's nice. You push the wave as well, so you get almost no CS because you're less hitting against your own tower. Very good start. And it's not like Wits suffered that much. Took some damage, but we'll fair region and eventually be okay.
Yeah, Wits is a little bit on it. He's getting zoned out a little bit.
Gardic
4 stacks of quills on him. Yeah, Gardic is going to try to continue to run, and he will get out, trying to go and... I don't know if he's going to go try to deny himself. If he's looking for the creep drag, that's not really a thing. He's not going to hit it. So now, Wits had a pretty solid lane. game 1. It was a nice parry there, but had a really good lane. Level 1, had a nice time. This is not that game, as he's been decently zoned.
Yeah. Going to be a bit harder of a challenge, especially with the start, but I believe, you know, as this game, as the lane develops, he should be okay. Has a way out. So even though they have a lot of minus armor, can potentially kill Gardic, but I would be impressed to see Wits dying unless the Batrider rotates or is pulling as they go for the cast.
Yeah, it's a really good stick lane too. I mean, obviously any bristleback lane is a really good stick lane, but El Misho is also going to be spamming this little shredder. He's going to be spamming his spells. So Wits, even as he got bullet out a little bit, spends all his tangos, he's got 11 charges. He really...
Interesting that they gave Disruptor to Menti this time, right? So he didn't play Disruptor game 1, but he is playing game 2.
I kind of expected to see him play it in game 1 as well. We saw him, that was what he was playing yesterday, and he was okay. I'm also, you talk about surprises, I'm a little surprised we're not seeing chicken fingers on Michael, but now we're going to try to go on Parker. Shackles heals him up a little bit, but Michael still has to run. Maybe looking for a Sunstrike here. Gets it first blood. Well done, James. Good pings. They know what's happening. And Michael, he's got a salve. Heals right back up to full. There's no stuns here. Shackles ready to go. Might try to put a little bit more pressure on Parker.
Okay, great start for the Invoker. We're talking about Sunstrikes, and we already see it paying off as Gardic also gets a Lotus on the bottom side.
What the hell, man? Look at what James is Galaron Invoker. Look at what he's got queued up right now.
Oh, interesting.
And he's committed, right? He has the crown. He's going first item Meteor Hammer as Exhort Invoker.
Yeah, usually you would see that with Plus Wax, right? Like that was the Thompson way a while ago. Yeah, I guess you kind of committed. You bought the crown.
Well, sus. I mean, it does amp up your damage as Dark Mago eats a cold snap. Really shouldn't die and actually will kill off the Forge Spirit, but it does amp your damage. It is nice as Mandy gets taken down once again. But for my money, getting a Midas, getting Ags relatively timed, getting an Atos, all these things, they do feel a little bit nicer than getting Meteor Hammer. But what do I know? Like, this is a James specialty. This is how he likes to play Invoker. This is what we were talking about before game 1. You know, he plays these heroes, and his Invoker in particular, he's got some interesting ways he decides to play.
Yeah, he definitely gives you a lot of Tower Siege. So as this Mars is rotating, like just your Forge Spirits plus Meteor Hammer will take those early towers. So I think that is one thing that it gives you. But yeah, is it worth sacrificing, you know, all the other things you could buy? Even like Vessel, as you said, right? You're playing against Bristle Mars. There's a lot of value in having Vessel this game, especially now that, you know, gives stats back to Invoker.
Yeah, I don't know that it's that Exhort Invoker Vessel is all that great. Is now they're going to try to go on top of this Underlord top side. Glimpse has already been used. Shackle's on top. They're just going to try to turn on top of Mandy once again. Parker gets the kill. Do we have anything more? Don't know if Sunstrike is available. Trying to click him down. Nice job there, Michael. At least gets the trade. Doesn't have Shackles available and will get taken down. But in the mid lane, solo kill on the Mars by this Invoker.
He almost got the kill with the strike top as well. Didn't land, but don't see solo kills on Mars pretty much ever if you're Invoker. So that's crazy.
Yeah, just I know it wasn't a solo kill. I'm sorry. Bat Rider did go mid. We didn't see that. Okay,
I was watching top, so
so was I. I'm like, yeah, I see. See, James here, Bat Rider's back again, level 5. And with the Cold Snap, it's hard for Dark Mago to do anything. Moves forward, cookied in. And James now speared back against the tower. It is a dead Mars. It's going to be a dead El Misho as well. James trying to get out of here. Glimpse back. At the very least, they trade mid for mid. Disruptor will fall. And Gardic, I don't think you want to go that deep on top of Mandy. So at least they punish this right around the 6-minute timing and amp damage. That gets denied.
But that's huge. Mars dies twice, doesn't have a TP, has to walk back to the mid lane. This is a big hit. Like, Mars as a hero needs a good laning stage because, like, your rotation, you know, with Blink's pretty bad. Like, just like mid DK, mid Tiny. Very reliant on that. Blink has, I get Michael? Maybe
And
not.
find Michael, but James and Gardic are here, and Michael's just going to turn. Sunstrike goes down on top of Mandy, heals up a little bit on the shackles, and that's just a dead disruptor. Trying to get a little bit too fancy there. It's not level 4 shackles, but even still, level 2, 160 heal. It turns a lot of these goes around in a way you don't really expect.
You gotta give it to Wonder Kid. Like they picked this Invoker very early as a response to that early pop, and they're already looking amazing. 4-1 and 1 minute 7. Kai, I mean, this is gonna be a 7-minute Kaya, and like despite the Meteor Hammer, just that amplification on the Sunstrike is crazy. As long as you're hitting those, it's a lot of damage.
And Meteor Hammer, like we talk about, Midas is really good and whatever. Meteor Hammer does amp your farm. You know, not only just the spell amp, you have this Meteor call down, whatever it's called, that clears a creep wave pretty much, can help you clear some stacks. It does amp your farm in a pretty significant way, and he's not that far away. He's got 200 gold from the Meteor Hammer. I'm actually kind of surprised he's calling the Kai out. He's so close to the recipe. But he's going to have that free 10 minutes. That's going to give a lot of tower pressure. It's going to give him actually a decent amount of control in fights if he plays it right. And it's an interesting idea. I understand the ideas. Now Raptor Dance bottom side, the percentage health into this bristle's really nice. And here comes the Shaman. Pings out level 5. Wits goes in. Frank turns his back, and now the Sunstrike goes. But the back is turned, so Frank, lots of quills trying to kill this guy. Very scary. Wits almost dies, but Sunstrike, it does enough.
They get it. Yeah, I think that Meteor Hammer, the thing with Meteor Hammer is that the upgrade isn't that more expensive, right? So if you're already gonna rush a Kaya, why not get the upgrade? Obviously, he starts with the crown just for the laning stage, but it's a very cheap upgrade from Kaya. Yeah,
and again, it's one of these things where it doesn't farm as well as like a Midas does for the gold, but Invoker always, you go Midas for both. You go Midas for the gold, you go Midas for the XP. And the XP gone, yeah, you got a little bit more gold out of it because they did buff the cooldown on the Midas charges. But it's not, I don't think it's that far off. Like the farming speed you get from this Meteor Hammer, I don't think it's that different. I can't imagine from a Midas. And I mean, certainly it's going to pay off faster.
Yeah, and I mean, your Sunstrike's doing a lot of damage, right? You get no Sunstrike benefit from the Midas, whereas here you're doing 10% more damage, which eventually is going to be 70 pure damage. So your Sunstrikes are going to be doing 700. It's an insane amount of damage.
Yeah.
And they have so much synergy. Like every hero besides Kaz has a stun for the Sunstrikes to land.
And Kez does have a stun, technically. Sai, if you get marks going, it does stun. You actually chain stun sometimes if you get the attack speed going. And we talked about Kez early, maybe not having the best lane. He's fine as we're going to go on top of this Bristleback. Once again, Echo Slash through to get onto the back side. Trying to make sure you get the Lotus. Don't know if Sunstrike is available. It is. Oh, it's not going to land as this Bristle continues to try to take Michael down. We'll be able to do so. Underlord coming in, though. And Frank, he should die here, yeah. Firestorm percentage damage. Very nice. So they do lose Michael, but oh, El Misho here. But yeah, the smoke from the Raven's Veil. They're not going to be able to get it and just go straight through the portal. They don't have time. 2 seconds left. Big rotation coming in. Underlord dodges. Kez dodges, and they get the Bristle.
Okay, so, despite the struggles, Mars still highest CS in the game and has really good net worth. His Blink Dagger apparently is not going to be delayed as much. But so far, very quiet game for Dark Mago. Didn't really find a lot.
Oh, Meteor Hammer understands that. Yeah, there we go. He saw the spear was used. Oh, James. He knows the only way this gets stopped is if he gets speared, and the spear was used to push him back. So immediately, yeah, let's full combo this. Meteor Hammer Invoker, man. Apparently terrifying.
Also gets a region right after that, so it gets to farm stack Carinos. This guy's having the game. Like, if Peru's gonna lose a game out of this series, I'm gonna say it's this one. Wonder Kid seems very comfortable with this hero.
Radiant's middle
I love, by the way, man, he's going for pretty quick Ags too. His Meteor Hammer, Brown Boots, Ags is he's less than 3,000 gold away. I do want to point out, Gardeck sitting here in the mid lane, soaking the wave as the Disruptor shows up, trying to see if the right click. X up into the shack. And even if Michael dies here, well worth the cost. This snake on the high ground is Dark Mago. He's gonna try to heal up as much as possible. But this is gonna be eventually a dead Shadow Shaman fed on over. Well, actually, no one. Parker and Frank both got their eyes a little bit too big for their stomachs. I'm a little. You talk about this Invoker. I'm a little surprised. The power of the Cataclysm. I'm a little surprised we're not seeing this Underlord just rushing Ags after the pipe. Yeah, you know, sure. Getting a Crimson Guard is nice, but 2 pits in this fight, 2 500 radius pits, if you're trying to lock land Cataclysms, that seems really nice.
Yeah, he'll definitely get Axe. Question is when, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it after this Crimson. Because, yeah, as you said, Crimson not necessarily that good this game.
Oh, look at the spear on top of 2. Oh, my God, Dark Margo. What a play. Witz now has to get out locked in the arena as well. James, no detection just yet, so Witz is going to TP away, and here comes James. Do we have the damage? I don't think so. Not anymore. Sunstrike's not going to land. There's the disarm. Second stun. Tries to run away, but as quick as James's fingers were, you got by this Observer Ward, man. They saw them both, even if they were invisible. The spear got them both.
Oh, and Gardeck might die as well.
Oh, Gardeck, where are you, man? Dark Mago's going to find him, and he's not been having a great game. This last sequence sequence of plays. Oh, he's coming back.
Yeah, it really is. Really good vision from Peru, allowing them to get some of these fights. But some key items are approaching here. As we said, the Eggs is down on the Invoker. Blink on Michael is going to be available. And I think this is when... Oh, Mendy might be dead.
There's going to be the glimpse, but here comes the Kez. I mean, he only glimpsed one, although Kinetic Field can't hop over it, even still. Wits will get the kill on the delayed damage from his katana. It's kind of interesting. We're seeing these smoke moves like 10 seconds, connecting like 10 seconds before Invoker comes back from the dead. And it does feel like getting Sunstrike's Cataclysms so very important, and they're making it work. As now they move into Roshan with the Dead Disruptor. Routine pings bottom. Seems like her reject.
Okay, so that's the second time that Amaru does this, right? Game 1, I think they did a very similar move, just abusing this Roshan before Tormentor shows up. So even if they have to use spells for the Rosh, they're going to have them for the Tormentor. Very nice play.
By the way, I thought Parker was going to go like Dagon 1, like classic Masochist Puck, Dagon, or a Quap Dagon 1 into other items. He's on Dagon 3. He's got a fourth Dagon on the way, fifth queued up. He is this Quap that you had in your pubs 3 years ago that heard you buy more recipes and Dagon does more damage and got really excited by the idea. Except he's also top net worth. So it's not a 30-minute Dagon 5. It's actually a little bit scarier. As the burst coming in, he just annihilates Garden. The burst damage from this Quap right now is untouchable.
As a general rule, I refuse to.
And the thing is, though,
unless they try to kill me first. So this
doesn't scale as much as Kaz will. Like, this Kaz is also having a perfect game, 5-0 and 2. In fact, he might find Dark Mago here.
Underlord's coming in. They're trying to go. It's a static storm. That is annoying, but not really doing all that much. They find Witch. Oh, that's so much burst damage. He's going to get glimpsed out. Actually saving his life for the time being. As the arena gets dropped, a little bit of Raptor Dance heals him back up to half. This just buys the space, and it looks like for now, no, they're going to go back in. Parker, a little bit of Scream of Pain action, moves forward, but Dagon on cooldown for another second, and now you really have to keep Witch safe. Another blink in. And Witch
have Lasso on the bat right there with Blink, so got to be careful here. And
okay, move on top. Cataclysm as well. That's going to be a dead Bristle immediately. Now Lasso on top of the Quap you were talking about. A little bit more lockdown. Blinks out for now. Gets stunned up. Silenced up. Tornado on top of him as well. Meteor Hammer trying to lock him in place. Not quite going to land, but they still get the kill. And that was the Aegis from this Kez. So he's going to be alive for round 2 as they try to chase down Elmisho. Unfortunately, the Veil doesn't quite clip him. So it looks like Elmisho. Well, actually, Gardex here. He's trying to get range of a flame break. And there we go. Bring him back. The creeps try to cause some problems. That is 4 dead heroes. This double blink dagger support timing right before the 20-minute mark. Really putting in work.
And this is free Tormentor as well, so it's going to be an even your advantage. They are able to use the Aegis, get just kills on every single important hero. And that's the thing, like, I don't know how Parker will itemize. Like, he's going to get a BKB, but this Blink Shaman Hex can still be the down him, his demise. Like, as long as he gets hexed, shackles into Cataclysm, he might be dead every single fight.
Boy, that is a beautiful assumption that you're making about Parker getting a BKB. Feel like what he's got queued up. I don't see any items.
Yeah.
I see no Gorex.
Wait until he dies again, but yeah, for now.
Oh, move on to the bottom side. We found this. He's just a victim. He's getting so punished here off this global potential. He will die once again. And Michael now only 3 levels. Oh, we find Dark Mago as well. The Glimpse tries to break it, but you got Tornado. You got EMP. Dark Mago locked in place into the pit as well. Static Storm trying to buy some time, and it will.
I'm still alive.
Barely get. Dark Mago gets the arena off, but everyone else, well, it's only 1 kill here. The bat's gone.
Yeah,
of course, everyone else a little bit. Yeah, I don't know they're going to get anyone else. Just a little bit too mobile.
I feel like this Bristle is just not working. Every time I see this Bristle alone bottom, and he just dies the same way, right? A TP into Dark Rift with Sunstrike. And I don't know what the role of this Bristle is. Like, he went seen red, but he only has like sort of support items, I want to say, or like not really core items.
Well, in fairness, the green facet doesn't exist anymore. Like it does.
Yeah.
It's in the game, but one of the benefits you guys like, okay, viscous nasal goo is better if I take the green facet. Now it's the exact same. They got rid of the minus armor changes. So it's like, okay, well, if I turn my back, do I apply damage or do I slow everyone down with some minus armor? And it just
I think my point is that it's not an offlane hero anymore.
Fair.
Shouldn't be, as good as he used to. As a last pick, I feel like that was very lackluster.
And now Amaru with the 9,000 net worth lead on top of Dark Mago, and nice blink forward there from Michael.
They got another one.
+1, breaks any sort of save. They're going to take this. Oh, man, they take Del Micho down as well. And Witz looks for more. He's got this alacrity on top of him. He does so much damage. But Blade Mail's pop for now, and you got to be a little bit careful. So Witz grapples out, gets flips back in, but they're on top of Mandy Static Storm. But there's no kinetic field, so Witz just runs away from it. They find Parker backside, not going to kill him. But this is just a control. Okay, Tornado's not going to land. Maybe we won't get Dark Mago. But everyone else, yeah, okay, there's another pit. Dark Mago will fall down as well. Yules buys a little bit more time, but that just sets up the Sunstrike. And this Alacrity Kez is just... I don't even want to put it on the Kez. This entire team, the fight was so well played. Wonder Kid did a great job, but this Alacrity Kez is doing crazy damage.
Wonder Kid is aware of his position. Unlucky.
Yeah, Parker talking about his item. Sunstrike finds him. Oh, there's Cold Snap. Looking for a little bit more. Okay, he's dead. Goodbye. Hex into the Shackle. Meteor Hammer. And Parker is not tanky enough. Talking about Parker's optimization.
Stood up now.
Yeah, but after we get the Kayasage.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it matters, man. Like, this Kaz is, as I said, the Alacrity. It's such a strong combo. Witz is 809.
He's got a satanic done.
Yeah. Goodbye, Mandy.
And that's even without Alacrity. They're going to hunt for more with the Raven's Veil. El Micho, I believe, showed briefly, so the Unlearn's going to try to find him. Sunstrike Cataclysm says, yes, there's a hero here. Looking for it, not going to get it. All right. This Parker Carry Quap is not doing it. Bowie, I don't know about you. You might be seeing something I don't, but this Parker Carry Quap is not really doing it for me. As they find Michael, that is it might be a kill, but you got X coming in, and this is going to be the turn. They do get Michael. He buys some time, though, and now you're locked into a pit. Once again, there's the arena. That's nice. Kisses are fun, but it's a dead Mars. Now this Bristle on the front line. Witz silenced up a little bit on the Static Storm, but he's not going to die, and now Frank No Mana is going to have to get out of here. Good Sonic Wave. Witz comes right back in, though, from Lifesteal, gets it on the Satanic. And it's 26 minutes, and Peru Reject says, we are done with this one. This is not the game we want to play. Maru, they tie it up at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, I feel like the draft was really good from Maru this time around, just getting that Invoker response. I don't think you can give this away. You might be forced. You either ban Invoker or you don't pick Quap that early. And I also feel like that Bristleback was just a completely non-factor. I don't think it was Frank's issue. I just don't know what the hero's supposed to do in this game.
Yeah, I think you just ban the Invoker. I think Wonder Kid, even if his late games, it can sometimes fall off because he likes to play this more aggressive version of playing, even with, say, Galaron Invoker. I think his early game is just too good on this hero. Of all the games that I've seen him play, he has dominated in the early game like every single time. He's getting solo kills in the mid lane, he did get the solo kill there. Looking really good. And then when I've seen him lose, it's like, well, his team's not so the team's not following up, right? He falls off a little bit. But he's very good at that hero.
He's definitely very good. I think, we can criticize Parker's build, but at the end of the day, even if you went for a different route, I'm not sure Pop would be able to carry that game. Kaz was having a perfect time. There were a lot of counters. 2 Blink Daggers on the supports with BKB piercing stuns. What are you supposed to do as Quap? Just rush Lincolns as a carry. Overall, I feel like they got absolutely stride in the draft, and this is getting more interesting than I anticipated. I didn't sign up for a full 5-game series before I got here, but apparently this might be closer than we anticipated.
Yep, I am here for it. So now we got about 9 minutes to figure out whether we should ban the Invoker against Wonder Kid. And I think the answer is yes, but let's see if our players come to the same conclusion after the break. talking about this Underlord as well, the fact that it's gone, it is going to be kind of interesting because now we're going to have to see what exactly Oscar wants to pick, right? He's been playing Underlord 2 games, very good. He does have some flexibility. I think his Brewmaster is pretty solid, and that is where I look to next. Obviously, you don't have the global value of an Underlord. That is one of the big things. Go, you drop a pin on whatever, you have this global potential, you farm really nicely. But Brewmaster is this hero that I think breaks a lot of the ideas that Peru want to play. They really want to. The rejects really want to play through Parker, maybe Dark Go, but you stun one, toss up the other. You have big dispels against a lot of what they're doing. We're going to have to see exactly what you got. It's not something that Peru rejects are going to pick unless they want to play a Dark Mago Beast, which I don't think they are. And we can see because of the bans and these opportunities, we are going deep into our reserve time here for the 13 pick.
Yeah, when I think of Oscar, I always think of Centaur. Like when he was looking his best, Centaur was one of his best heroes. Not very good against Shaman and Beast, though. It allows you to follow up and maybe respond to initiation, but it's definitely not great to disengage against those two. A lot of hard lockdown. What's your approach here?
Kind of like an early Brewmaster. I think it's a very good hero right now. I think it gives you pretty much everything you want out of an off-ramp. It gives you team fight control. It's incredibly tanky. You can't kill it. It doesn't stay locked down is the big thing. You have so much status resist, once you go below 50% HP. You can go and toggle even if you're silenced, so you're almost guaranteed to be in Earth Panda form if you need to. Once you get the Ags, the heroes never die, but okay, we're just moving up the priority list. Kez, 14 overall.
So, yeah, I'm surprised that he did that because, as we said, Parker has no games on it. So I don't think Peru could put that in any other role, but they don't want to show. I guess the reason they picked this is because they know the Beastmaster is going to be that lane, right? So you're pretty much just adapting to what you can see, and as long as Beastmaster's off lane, Kaz is going to be a good fit. They played a fine lane in game one. But going back to what you were saying, I am a little bit scared of the hero. I feel like should you get status resistance when first stun before the status resistance kicks in, the stun duration is still the same. And I feel like they have a lot of hard lockdown here. It might be a hard game for the group to split if you get jumped. But at the same time, I don't see a lot of other heroes you can work for. Timber is Oscar's multiplayer hero. Oh, that's your piece,
I like this. This is if you play it, you play it. If you don't, you don't. And I want to say Gardic has a couple games in the CCT on this. I'm gonna have to check, but they have a Chen play, and this is one of those heroes that, in the right hands, is just it's so good right now. You have the potato that just beats people down. You can steal the Boras in this lane. The healing you get, you farm so fast with the Hellbear creep that you just get for free.
Even the armor, armor, a lot of the damage they have right now is all physical. So if someone gets Shackle's Lord, the armor can be the difference between surviving or not. You have heals. I definitely like that. You get push, which is something that they do not have for now. Now Peru. We need to pick Dark Mago's hero for sure, because I don't think they're picking Parker's hero right now. We don't see the offlane.
Okay, that's kind of an interesting one. This Phoenix, Shen and Batrider don't hit things very well, but Kez builds a lot of attack speed. You don't want to get too close. You're pretty vulnerable to magic damage early, and of course
it's very
you
good
get
at stopping the Chen push, right? Because the creeps, they just get fire spirited and they don't. It's very good to defend the towers early on. I'm surprised Treant actually went through here. It's completely ignored. No one really feeling like it's a good enough Treant game. Amaru obviously cannot pick it anymore with the Chen pick. Do you Razor here instead of going, because they don't have that much setup for the Sunstrikes anymore. I don't think.
I'm very down for a Razor pick this game. It's gonna be Centaur. There's a decent amount of lockdown. You don't want to get Sunraid. But I'm with you. I am so down for a 23 pick Razor. I think
it's gonna get banned probably.
Probably, but otherwise, you don't have a Cloppin lane. They're really you could get pucked or something, but Quap is like the lane matchup to pick because you don't want to get beat down by Razor. And with that being banned, you are a little bit worried about the Shadow Shaman lockdown. You don't hit Egg particularly well, Beastmaster Roar, but I think this is a fine Razor game if you want to go for it.
Yeah, and Razor and Centaur are synergized quite well. Very hard to disengage from static links when you have Stampede. They do remove Invoker, that's given. Even though they don't have that much setup anymore, it was such a good performance that I think it still warrants banning it. Another Dark Mago hero. He plays a lot of Kunkka, plays a lot of Mars, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but there we go. Okay. I like Mars. Mars Phoenix Gyrocopter is disgusting. That is a
very good against Razor as well.
Yeah.
Because you just don't get to bring any damage.
That is a great ban. So Tiny's gone. That's fair. I think you get rid of a Spirit here, probably. It's not an egg hitter. I just really like
it. Very good. They have no lockdown for Puck.
Oh, true. Okay. Puck's not the best into Shaman Beastmaster. Do you almost counter-pick the Pucks so Dark Mago doesn't get it?
You could go Puck. Like, their lockdown is fine-ish. I mean, I think Puck is okay. I'm trying to think if there's something that would destroy it in lane. There's no Husker. There's no Viper. I don't think there's like a matchup that Puck destroy too much. Especially Dark Mago. Like, he's still cool. He's especially the nothing in him. So I wouldn't say he's gonna cheese something crazy here.
Okay.
Same, I guess, very similar to Puck.
Yeah, but that just makes it a really good Puck game. you can get on top and you can vortex the Puck, but now you have a silence and a Dream Coil, if you do pick Puck, which we're going to have to see. But if you do pick Puck, you have silence, you have Dream Coil, locking Storm Spirit in place. I do like the concept of the Spirit for Wonderkid. I think that's very good, but this Puck is not going to get picked. Slardar in response.
Yeah,
Gyro loves
that
a Slardar.
Puck player.
Yeah. Dark Mago is a Slardar. He plays a crap ton of Slardar.
Yeah. Okay. So, a lot of physical, right? You have Corrosive Haze, you have Gyro, this massive Serpent Ward. The only source of physical here is the Phoenix. Very curious to see how they're going to itemize on the Centaur against that. Maybe you just rush Dream Summit this game. Very good Dream Summit.
It is. And there's also a lot of value in the pipe, if you think about it. Sometimes you have these games where there's just so much overwhelming magic damage that the pipe doesn't really do enough. But a pipe in this game mitigates the call down for the Gyrocopter. Phoenix, it mitigates all the Phoenix damage. Probably not worth it. Probably worth it just to go Crimson, and then you get your Ags, and get a Lotus. Lotus has a lot of value this game. So,
because Festa Roar, like this in the mid-game fight, the Shaman's not going to be able to stand his ground. So the initiation that Drew has is kind of unreliable past the Roar. Even this Larder, like, he's going to blink in stun, but probably go in and out several times. And that's when Amaru, I think, actually has a much better time. They can zip in and out with his Storm. They have Stampede. They have Lasso. So the ways they can reset the fight is much better, especially with Phoenix being there. So you have another layer to just disengage from the egg.
This next egg timing is going to be incredibly impactful. And oh, by the way, Frank got Gardic, so